They're alive! Jody loves visiting her grandparents' farm. Okay, so it's not the most exciting place in the world. Still, Grandpa tells great scary stories. Grandma's chocolate chip pancakes are the best. But this summer the farm has really changed. The cornfields are sparse. Grandma and Grandpa seem worn out. And the single Scarecrow has been replaced by 12 evil-looking ones. Then one night, Jody sees something really odd. The Scarecrows seem to be moving, twitching on their stakes, coming alive.
Welcome to Goosebumps Overviews, the show where we go over Goosebump books and judge them on their merit. Tonight's episode is book number 20, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Here's the cover. Overall it's pretty decent with the Scarecrow taking the center stage. But the overall design of the Scarecrow, in my opinion, is not that spooky to begin with. Overall, it seems like something that would be very easily overpowered, but who am I to say? After all, I'm about the same weight as the Scarecrow. I'm just taking L's every day at this point. Meet Jody and Mark, who stay with their grandparents 1 month every year.
Hey, Jody, darling.
Oh, it's good to see you, Grandma.
On their farm in the middle of nowhere. Oh boy, do they love spending time with their grandparents. Their grandpa tells some spooky, scary stories. Their grandma makes amazing chocolate chip pancakes. Ugh, God, that sounds disgusting. And they overall just love hanging out around the farm. But things are a little different this year. A little strange. Grandpa's not telling his spooky stories. Grandma's not making her chocolate chip pancakes.
Cornflakes? What about your famous pancakes?
And there seems to be a lot of scarecrows around. And to top it all off, the farmhand seems even creepier, Stanley, saying the scarecrows walk at midnight. Could the scarecrows be alive? Or is Jody losing her mind? So let's talk about the characters. Jody and Mark, not very interesting characters as usual, but what did interest me was the character of Stanley, as well. He's kind of a Lenny in a way, like from Mice and Men, where he's a bit slow and a bit awkward and strange. And a few times he makes a few comments that lead me to believe he's some sort of pervert, especially near the beginning, where he says, My, Jody, you're getting awfully big. How old are you again? He also seems to be mentioning this strange book he has in his possession. Of course, we don't learn much about the book as the story goes on, but we will towards the ending. A lot of this book is similar in a way to Stay Out of the Basement, of course, but they're not staying out of anything. It's more like stay out of the cornfield. Because when they go into the cornfield, there's several jump scares of, oh, the scarecrows are alive! Oh, no, they're not. Until they are, of course. There is one dream sequence that I really liked, which made me question whether or not the grandparents were like scarecrows or something. That would have been interesting. But no.
Grandpa? Grandpa?
I do enjoy this story because one thing I do have to say is that it plays around with isolation. And I love that in any story, especially when it's on a farm. Kind of like 1922, that dealt a lot with isolation in a way, with rats. But this one, we got scarecrows. And boy oh boy, when those scarecrows come out, watch out. I think defending yourself from scarecrows would be really easy. But who am I to judge? You know, I don't know, maybe they're compelled by magic or something. See, the ending of this story, well, it's okay, but it leads me to ask some questions. For example, why the fuck did they let Stanley keep that book? I mean, I'm not trying to spoil anything here, but they let him keep this dangerous book. What the heck? Also, why didn't they fire him? I would have fired him. Okay, minor spoilers. Minor spoilers, that's it. So yeah, there's a bunch of scarecrows running around. Jody seems to differentiate between thinking it's the son of the helper, Styx, or her own imagination. At some points I actually believe it might be her imagination, but that probably wouldn't be that interesting of a read if it was just her imagination. So, with this disjointed review nearing the end, I'm going to have to rate this a 6 out of 10. I do like the ideals of isolation and the big ending fight scene with the scarecrows. That is pretty fun. But, there is a lot of dancing around the subject of scarecrows being alive. There's a lot of pointless, annoying jump scares with them, and that brings the book down overall. Anyway, guys, that has been my review on The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Did you enjoy my review? Did you hate it? Make sure to comment down below. Make sure to stay tuned for next time when we go eat worms. Have a scary day.